Hello everyone, and welcome to Around Phelps Health, a series dedicated to having open conversations about healthcare topics relevant to our patients and community. Today we have a special edition of Around Phelps Health. As you can see, we're in the kitchen, so welcome to Around Phelps Health in the kitchen. This is a new cooking segment we're doing where today we're going to teach you how to make a healthy recipe. I'm your host, Paul Hackbarth, and with me here today is Lori Bourne. She's a clinical dietitian with the Phelps Health Delbert Day Cancer Institute. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's happy to be here.
Yeah, so we're so glad to have you with us here, especially in our first cooking show. So before we get into cooking today, Lori, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe what a clinical dietitian does?
Okay. I'm a clinical dietitian. I provide medical nutrition therapy to clients or patients, and it's customizing plans to meet their health needs. I've been at Phelps Health for a little over 16 years now. I chose Phelps Health, I guess accidentally. My husband moved here, I moved here with him, and I've always liked clinical nutrition, so working at a hospital was kind of my only option that I was looking for. And Phelps Health fit that, and love it here, and have been here for almost 16 years now.
Oh wow, so that's a long time. So, well, we're lucky to have you, like I said, on the show, and we're lucky to have you here at Phelps Health. I know you've probably been helped to a lot of cancer patients with their nutrition and diets, so I think that's great that we offer that resource there. So
we have a lot of patients that have a lot of problems eating with the treatments and the side effects, and then some that want to learn how to eat healthier and prevent a recurrence from their cancer, and so my job helps all of those individuals.
That's awesome. Yeah, another great resource we have here at Phelps Health. So today, let's get into this recipe. So today we're going to be making balsamic chicken with roasted cherry tomatoes. And from the picture, this looks really good. I don't know what you think, Lori.
It does look delicious.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to try this. So this recipe is actually modified from a website called littlebroken.com. So we've changed things up a little bit. First thing we're going to do is make the balsamic vinegar mixture sauce. So do you want to start off with that?
Yeah. So I'm going to start out by adding to the bowl the balsamic vinegar.
Yeah, and again that's 1/3 cup. So. And then next we'll need the tablespoon of Dijon mustard, so one of those.
Tablespoon of Dijon.
I remember tablespoon is the bigger one because it has more letters in it. So.
That's a good way to remember
that.
Yeah,
and then teaspoon doesn't have many letters, so it's a smaller one.
Smaller one.
Yeah, so. Okay. And then if you want, let's do 1 teaspoon of the Italian seasoning.
I'm going to take this plastic.
Yeah, that might be easier.
That
might be easier to do.
That out.
Okay. And then last we'll need to add the honey, and we'll add 2 teaspoons of that one.
We didn't do this here, but the little trick with honey is if you spray your teaspoon with a little cooking oil, the honey will slide out a little bit faster.
Oh, so now we know that. I like that idea. So I never heard of that before.
Then you don't have to wait for it to come off the side.
Like this one, like we're doing right now.
Right. But this works just fine too.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, we'll have to remember that for next time. Okay.
All right.
And
then we're just going to give this a little whisk.
Yeah. All right, so while you're whisking that, I'm going to go over here and heat up our skillet. And we're going to turn this to medium heat. And we'll let that heat up, and then we'll add some oil there in a second. I'm also going to cut these cherry tomatoes in half. Lori, while I'm doing this, can you talk about some of the benefits of cherry tomatoes?
Yeah, so cherry tomatoes are very rich in potassium. They're also rich in vitamins A, C, and E, and they're a very good source of fiber as well. They have lycopene in them, which is an antioxidant, kind of helps contribute to that red color and protect and fight against diseases.
All right, awesome. Okay. So I'm going to add just a little bit of olive oil to this pan.
I'm going to go ahead and season the chicken with a little salt.
Yeah, while you're doing that, that'd be great. So.
Getting the pan ready. Just giving them just a little sprinkle. And you can give them another little sprinkle in the pan after you put them in with this side down, and that helps flavor the chicken. And you could also throw a little Italian seasoning on the chicken too if you wanted to, if you're cooking at home.
Oh yeah, I like that idea. So it sounds good. All right, so I'm gonna put some of this chicken on here. I'll probably have to do this in 2 batches. And so the chicken, you'll want to just put in there a single layer, and then we'll try to brown that. It's about 1 to 2. It takes about 1 to 2 minutes on each side, so we'll kind of let that grill for a little bit there. Lori, as we're kind of waiting for this chicken to grill, I noticed, well, one thing in this recipe, I think it's great. There's not a lot of ingredients, but I think while there's not a lot of ingredients, there are, I think we have a good mixture of nutrients. So we get a lot of protein from the chicken. We get some, as you mentioned earlier, the vitamins from the cherry tomatoes. Can you talk about why is it important that we just have a variety in our diets?
Yeah, so you need a variety of nutrients just to be healthy. And particularly with your fruits and vegetables, the colors mean a lot. So we encourage people to eat from the rainbow. There's lots of different colors. They give you different things. So for instance, we talked about the red from the cherry tomatoes, but you can also get that from strawberries and red beans, and that they're a great source of potassium and antioxidants along with vitamin C and E. And while this is a simple dish that you can prepare just like this, you could also feel free to throw in some spinach at the end and wilt it a little and get some of your dark greens in there.
Ooh, I like that idea.
You can put a little fresh basil on top of it before you serve it, get some more greens in there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of variety and things that you can do with this recipe as well. And while he's cooking that, this recipe is, like Paul said, it's a healthy recipe. 1 serving is 135 calories. It has 2 grams of fat from a healthy olive oil fat. It provides 5 grams of carbohydrates, 1 gram of dietary fiber that you get from the tomatoes. It has 2 grams of sugar and has 25 grams of protein.
And it is important to note those are ones without, if we don't put added cheese on those are what the nutrition facts are. Yeah. So.
And adding the cheese will add more protein, and it will add some calcium as well to the recipe, which is also good for everybody.
Yeah. So we're going to transfer to the baking dish here. Just like that. And we'll get ready to add some of our other stuff on there. Alright, so I'm going to bring this over here. And now, Lori, you want to add in the balsamic sauce mixture?
Yeah. Pour that right over the top of all of it, and we'll scrape out, make sure we get all of that Italian seasoning.
Yeah, that smells so good.
I love balsamic vinegar.
Do you? Alright, and then we're going to add our cherry tomatoes. We'll also add our cheese on here. So I think we're ready to put this in the oven.
And we had set the oven at 400 degrees.
Yes, so make sure you preheat that to 400 degrees. And you don't need to cover this when you put it in there, so you can just put this in there uncovered.
And we're going to bake it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Alright, here's
Alright.
set that
And that's what it looks like when it's done. And so you'll want to take a meat thermometer and make sure that your chicken is fully cooked to 165. We don't want to undercook the chicken and make anyone sick, right?
Right.
And then, so this is what it will look like when it's done. You do want to let it set for about 5 minutes, just to let it rest for a little bit before serving that. All right, we're ready to try this?
We're ready to try this.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah.
Like we mentioned earlier, you could pair it with a salad, or you could pair it with some brown and wild rice. You could add a salad. You could throw some spinach in with it if you wanted some greens.
All right, so I wanted to mention that we'll have this recipe and video online at phelpshealth.org. We'll also have these recipe cards in local grocery stores, pharmacies, and we have a few at our Phelps Health Clinic as well. If you do make this recipe, please tag us on social media at Phelps Health 1, and that way we can see and we can share that. We can share your recipe if you make this online with us. So, Alrighty, well that's all I have for today. Thanks again for being with us, Lori.
Thank you for having me. This was lots of fun.
Yeah, so we'll have to have you come back on another show and do another recipe.
I would love to. That'd be great.
Awesome. So,
Yeah.
alrighty. So, well, thanks again, guys. So, and if you want to know anything more about Phelps Health or the things that we cover on our show, check out phelpshealth.org. We'll see you next time on Around Phelps Health.